Before we start, I want you all to go ahead and hit the red subscription button so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to Film Boss. Pawn Stars is a highly well-known reality TV drama that fixates on the day-by-day exchanges of the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas. What's more, similar to any pawn specialist, Rick, the old man, Corey, and Chumlee have the troublesome undertaking of wrangling with merchants. Clearly, the estimation of these things is totally emotional and reliant on heaps of components, like the uncommonness in condition and how desperate does the seller need money. Also, the show's oft rehashed mantra of, "I gotta make a benefit here." That stated, we're deciding to concentrate on the occasions when the Pawn Stars made sketchy arrangements that wound up with sellers being in heavy loss. Autographed screenplay for The Godfather. This one falls into the class of a nearly sham, since the vendor Diana didn't leave behind her thing, a duplicate of The Godfather screenplay autographed by Al, yet we're including it here due to what an awful offer it truly was. After Rick's penmanship master, John, checks that Diana's screenplay is without a doubt marked by Al Pacino, Rick offers Diana $500 for it, halfway dependent on John's recommendation that it would most likely just get $1,000 at sell-off. She basically leaves, saying, "Since we realize it's Al Pacino's signature, a fundraiser would likely net more money than that." And she was absolutely correct. Yasugo Samurai Sword. In what is presumably the most deplorable case of the folks purposely coming up short on for an item, Corey cuts through an arrangement on a 15th century samurai sword that had the potential to bring over $10,000. The owner, David, professed to be a lawyer who kept the sword after a client utilized it as guarantee and neglected to come back to guarantee it. Not long before the negotiations began, Corey conceded in a confession booth that he'd seen a few of these sell for thousands of dollars, which is the reason his initial idea of $800 was ludicrously obscure. The dealer woefully underprepared for the arrangement and said, "When he offered me $800, I wanted to jump and do a dance. But I had to keep my cool because the price was still going up." They concurred on $1,500, and a specialist later decided it would be worth around $5,000 to $6,000 in its present condition. But if Corey did $3,000 reclamation, he could get as much as $15,000 for it. "That is a score, big hoss," Chumlee says, as he and Corey high-five. 1962 Lincoln Continental. In another Season 1 scene, Rick and the old man make a deal on a refurbishing of a 1962 Lincoln Continental. Devin, the seller, claims he did the greater part of the motor work himself. However, he's put enough time and money into it, so he's prepared to sell it. He says he needs to get $13,000 to $14,000. However, the interior is strongly neglected, so Devin in the end gets just $9,500 for it. Notably, the first showroom cost for the vehicle was $10,000, which means they paid less for the vehicle in 2009 than it cost in 1962. Not the usual situation with most classic cars. Anyway, there's the standard hand-wrangling about whether the rebuilding costs will monetarily wreck them. In any case, they didn't. They burned through $15,000 to recover the vehicle into showroom shape, yet were left with a vehicle worth $30,000 to $35,000, depending on the buyer, which means this arrangement was a potential $5,500 to $10,500 gain for the Pawn Stars. 1984 Chris Craft Boat. In an early scene of Pawn Stars, Corey faces a colossal challenge on purchasing a 1984 Chris Craft boat for $16,500 before having a specialist look it over. As the standard catch of the show, Rick and the old man faltered at the amount Corey spent on such an unsafe buy until it's later uncovered that with only $4,000 of reclamation work, it is re-established to a sale of about $30,000. That most likely made for an unbalanced review for Merchant Dino, who says he bought the vessel for about $25,000 a half a year back, and was looking to hopefully get no less than $20,000 for it from the pawn shop. It needs a little bit more work than I can afford to put back into it, Dino says. Not understanding that on the off chance he paid $4,000, he could have made back the initial investment as opposed to an $8,500 misfortune. Book from Isaac Newton's library. A merchant from Season 3, Bob, arrived with a 450-year-old book on alchemy that he claimed is from Isaac Newton's library. Obviously, the old man brings in an expert named Gary, who advises everybody that it is, in fact, a book from the well-known scholar's assortment, in spite of the fact that the cover had been reconditioned, probably done in the 1700s. Still, Gary puts the retail estimation of the book at about $20,000. Incredibly, Bob at that point sells it for $7,000. When they say, you know, if I give you $7,000 for it, I won't have money for dinner tonight. To close this horrendous arrangement, it turns out a great part of the remainder of Newton's book assortment has either been decimated or chronicled at Trinity College, Cambridge in England. Which means, as a general rule, this book is really an extremely valuable bit of history. Well, this brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on the screen because I'm sure you'll love them. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.